Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome on this last day of summer. Yes, that's right. It is the last day of summer because fall equinox arrives tomorrow at 1:19 p.m. So this fall equinox reminds us of the balance between the light and dark, as this is the time when the light and dark are of equal length. This is a moment for us to reflect on the world that God created, traveling around the sun with exact precision, to observe the harvest moon if we don't have cloudiness, and to express gratitude for the fruitfulness of the land as we enter a time for the earth to rest. A warm welcome to all who have gathered and all who will be watching online later in the week. Whether you attend regularly or whether this is your first time here, all are welcome here. We are a community of faith, brought together to worship God and to share in our challenges and our joys with each other. A special welcome to Dr Myra Laramee, I think I said that right, who will be sharing the reflection with us as we observe Orange Shirt Sunday a week early, and Beth will be doing a further introduction of her prior to the reflection. 4 announcements. I've got one. We really need a couple of more volunteers for the Bombers. The game is on the 27th, so if you can help out, please talk to Marilyn or me after service. Oh, I wanted to also say to make sure that you stay for Bannock and Jam after the service, so we're really looking forward to that as well. Marianne and Ed.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I imagine you've looked around the sanctuary this morning. There's a few different things set up. If we look along by the windows, we see Winnipeg is marked by one window, and there's a line that's Jerusalem. And I should say it's marked Bethlehem. We have Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem marked at the far end. That distance is approximately 10,000 kilometers. Today, we're going to start our walk to Bethlehem, taking us up to Advent. Each person participating will use a clothespin. Just a good old-fashioned clothespin to mark our way along. On the clothespin, you'll mark your name, and we'll move it along the clothesline from the first window near the pulpit to the back. Not everyone likes to walk by themselves, so you can join a friend or a family. Even our stationary movements are going to count towards our journey. Just keep track of how long you walk. Every minute adds up to our daily total, which accumulates to a weekly total. So every Sunday that leads up to Advent, we're going to move our clothespin along the ribbons that are hanging down. For every hour walked, we're going to move the clothespin once. Join me. Take a clothespin, see if we can get to Bethlehem. How many of us will make it? Who knows? Let's see where we go. Let the Spirit work.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Tomakochuk, Chair of the Property Committee. So we have several items that are surplus from the previous washrooms. 3 large mirrors, about that wide, and at least that wide this way. They're in excellent condition. They don't make mirrors like they used to 50 years ago. And they can get cut to custom size if you wish. So if you're interested in 1, 2, or 3 mirrors, let the office know and we'll make sure that they're set aside for you. We have 3 used grab bars on the desk just at the back entrance here. If you need some, 1, 2, or 3, just grab them as you leave. Thank you.
We acknowledge the land. As we recognize Orange Shirt Sunday, we acknowledge the land on which we worship. We take a few moments to remember that God intended for children to be a blessing. Psalm 127 verse 3 says, "Children are a gift from God, they are a gift from Him." And in Luke 18 verse 16, "Let the children come to me." The creator of the poster on the PowerPoint wanted to honor Indigenous children whose lives were scarred by the hands of people, many of them religious people who truly did not know or comprehend God's love. This is one of the many paintings and messages that he left when he passed away about a year ago. Today and throughout this week, let us take a time to truly remember that every child matters and that Jesus extends an invitation for children to come to him. We acknowledge with gratitude our Indigenous peoples as we worship on the Treaty 1 land, the traditional territories of the Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the traditional territories of the Red River Métis Nation. We acknowledge that our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nations, and we are grateful for the care of this land and the hospitality in sharing this land. We offer our respect and commitment to living in harmony in all our relations. And we light the affirming candle. The Christ candle is lit as a reminder that Christ's light and love in this world transforms how we live our lives and challenges us to seek peace and justice for all. We take the light from the Christ candle to light our affirming candle. Reminding us that Christ's light and love are available for all. We welcome all who worship with us. Let us join in the singing of our call to worship.
Loving and ever-present Creator, we ask in this time together that we have open hearts and minds to hear your word and be reminded that we are all spirit first. The grass around us, the feathers of the birds, the eagles, the trees, and the rocks and the frog, we are all connected. We are all part of creation. Amen. Now we're going to take a little bit of time to reinforce this connection with each other. This is the time for sharing the peace. Beloved church, we are one in Christ. The peace of Christ, who united us in love and discipleship, be with you and also with you. And also with you. Let us greet each other with signs of this peace this morning. What a nice way to start the morning. Next is our scripture reading. And our scripture reading this morning is from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 8 and chapter 9. The prophet mourns for the people. My joy is gone, grief is upon me, my heart is sick. Listen, the cry of the daughter of my people from far and wide in the land. Is the Lord not in Zion? Is her king not in her? Why have they provoked me to anger with their images and their foreign idols? The harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we are not saved. For the brokenness of the daughter of my people I am broken. I mourn, and horror has seized me. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? Why then has the health of the daughter of my people not been restored? Oh, that my head were a spring of water, and my eyes a fountain of tears, so that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. May God bless to our understanding these readings from the Holy Scriptures.
Okay, we'll try that again. Is that okay now? Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Beth Anderson, and I'm from the Outreach Committee. This morning, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Myra Laramee. Myra and I met over 2 years ago when I was a patient at Grace Hospital. She was there visiting her son, Wayne, who was my roommate. And so while Wayne was down having surgery, Myra and I got to talking, and she made such an impression on me. I think we talked for at least 2 hours.
Oh, at least.
At least.
My son with his pillow on his head, I want to hear this.
Wayne assured me that his mom likes to talk afterwards. Anyway, she made a great impression on me, and I have never forgotten it. And I've never forgotten it, and so I'm just so pleased that she's agreed to come and speak with us. Like she said at that time, she said, there are no coincidences, and I think that's really true in this case. Myra has lived in Winnipeg her whole life. She is a member of the Fisher River Cree Nation, and Myra has spent over 35 years as a teacher, a counselor.
48 now.
48, okay, a lot. I took this information off the internet, so it's old. So she's been a teacher, a counselor, and an administrator. She obtained her doctorate degree in education, with her research being Indigenous knowledge and practices as they relate to teacher education. Myra has also taught at the University of Winnipeg. She's been very involved with Winnipeg 1 school division. I'm not sure all that she's done, but a lot. She's also an Indigenous knowledge keeper. Although retired now, she is on several committees related to education.
They don't let you go.
And meets regularly with other knowledge keepers. Just as important, she's a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. We're most fortunate to welcome Myra to Trinity. Unfortunately, as you can see, Damber's not with us today. However, he's left a gift for us to present to Myra. In the Nepali tradition of receiving guests, a scarf is presented as a symbolic gesture of friendship. And this is a scarf for you. Also,
Look at this.
we thought it had a bit of origin, so it was suited to put it on
Today.
Okay.
Perfect.
Also, on behalf of Trinity, I would like to present Myra with a gift of tobacco.
Right here.
This is a symbol of our respect when asking her to share her expertise as a knowledge keeper. Welcome, Myra, and thank you so much for joining us this morning as we celebrate Orange Shirt Day. Your turn.
Oh, hello? I can hear the echo. That's a bonjour, which means hello. I like where I am. I want to talk for a while with you and meet you, and I'm home. As a little girl, I led 4 others like me, my sisters, every Sunday to Shaughnessy United Church. And we had the gift of Reverend Griffin. And every Sunday, he'd open his office door and sit there and wait till we come after Sunday school, if we wanted to come and visit him and tell him something or show him something. And I still am church, but when, I'm being remiss, back up. 2 things. Neil Ludwig is actually my first name. And that comes from Anishinaabe when an adopted grandmother passed that name to me, and she didn't give it to me, it came through the spirit. And Niugabwik is the woman that sits at the center of four directions. And must I never, ever contemplate, move, think about forcing someone not into the circle. That's not possible for me to do. So I have spent many, many years sitting on my living room floor with tons of people who come week after week after week. I had it every Wednesday. Just to let it out, and to talk, and to laugh, and to cry, and all those things. And then I was told last night, as much as I slept, I was so excited about coming here today, that the second name, Ogi Maui Anagaduk Ojoeji Anagaduk, is also in I'm Cree, by the way, but I sit in the Midday Lodge, and most of the people speak Ojibwe. But that name is a blue sky woman with clouds, and she walks with clouds and the rainbow. And I was told by my uncle, who's a long time, he's one of my biggest teachers, that women were not usually named chief of the sky world. Ours is the earth world, and the men is the sky world. But some people just do that, and I guess I'm one of those. I have learned that from my papi, from my dad, that I said, Papi, how come everybody says Musham when they say creator, when they call creator? That's grandpa in Cree. And he said, well, that's the way it is, my girl. But where's Nukum? Grandma. You're standing on her, silly. So he taught me that everything is mixed together. It's not separated and all those stereotypes they talk about. And to do this today was like coming home. And I apologize for my eyes. I have really bad cataracts, and everything is like a mist. I can't. Yeah, I can see the orange shirts, and that's beautiful. That's wonderful. And then I told Lacey.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I had a stroke 4 years ago, and short-term memory is really rotten. Sorry, Beth. I told her I would explain this. In our world, the world that is a world of ceremony and lodges that are built for the time that we need them, and then taken apart again. But in our world that way, we have this, what we call the truth medicine, tobacco. And if you talk to a nugum, a grandmother in our way, especially a Cree grandmother, woof, staunch, this was never meant to be inhaled. That's why it's killing so many people. It was meant to be sent to the sky world. And the one that picks up our message from there is this one, the eagle. So it doesn't matter which language you speak. It goes and speaks Creator's language. And so when wow, look at that. Pretty cool, eh? When I go somewhere like this where I've not met people before, and many different kinds of people, it's important that I follow the way I've been taught. And I'm not telling you this as a brag. I'm telling you this as it's a lot of work. I have 7 pipes, and they all mean a responsibility of 7 different things. So when I'm asked to loft a pipe, this smoke never goes in here. But the other thing that was so beautiful to hear in our opening, we have a word in the Meday Lodge. Meday means heart. Meday in Ojibwe. And Meday Wewin is living. Heart living. Living with a good heart. And that's what our initiation lodge is. We can go through 8 different levels of initiation. And thanks to my daughter, her and her little busyness, I was not planning after 4, trust me, because those are all the little earth animals. Okay? And she zoomed me into the sky world. So I'm actually supposed to be using this as a talking stick. When we put our feet on the earth, us ladies wear these skirts. And I don't know if you've heard of ribbon skirt.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was a big one. And this one tells you that I am a member of the Bear Clan, the Black Bear Clan. So these 2 colors, red and black, are so I thought I'd wear it today because not everybody understands. You must hear the word clan. Oh, they've got clans. In Cree, we say kinship. Our kinship is the black bear. And I saw something phenomenal when I was growing up. I'm the oldest of 5 girls. Yeah, we're still girls, all of us. Both Mommy and Pop are gone, but they're here every day. Ma's sitting back over there, and I don't know where the heck Dad's wandering around to, but I can feel him. I don't go very far without those 2. They taught me, and they watch me. And I don't know what your dream world is like, but last night, they were so busy, honestly. I hardly slept a night. And they, all kinds of grandmothers were coming, don't forget this, and wow. So at the beginning, there was something said about we are all related. And I felt like I was back in the lodge because there's an Ojibwe word we use after every little piece that went on this morning. The whole room says, Ni Kanigana, and that means you are all my relations. Everyone, the skunks, the birds, everywhere, everything, the air is our relative. We don't have air without Creator's truth. And I use God because I was taught that way. I went to Sunday school till I was 12 years old, for heaven's sake. You don't put those teachings aside. So there's some cranky old Ojibwes who look at me every time I use the word God. I really don't care. Maybe I'll teach them something. But, you know, I think about some people who talk about what I learned in Sunday school and in church. And they don't talk nice about it. And that really hurts. Because we all are one nation on this planet. My mother and father, over the years, have taught us, you be well to people when you leave this house and close this door. Because they're all your relatives. And it didn't matter. We had a big, huge bed up on the 3rd floor, and I think back on it now, nobody else slept on that big, huge bed but the 5 of us. Because Mom and Pop would come in the house and say, somebody's over. We couldn't ask who, why. All we did was get our little butts upstairs. And we all went to sleep together in the same big bed. And that was home. Our house. Everywhere we went. And I don't know what it was that I was going to speak today, but I like to talk. And I like to talk about what I've learned from so many people on the earth. We were talking about Nelson Mandela. I had the good fortune to meet that old man. And one day, my brother friend Trinity Reddy. Anybody know Trinity?
Oh yeah.
Hey, you're here, Trinity. I used to work with him in the anti-apartheid movement. When I could walk, when I was amble and stuff. And we did so many things together. And I learned so much about how ugly things can be. But I also learned from a man who, no matter what happened to him, no matter how much time they put him in jail, he was still a beautiful papa. So Trinity asked me one day if I would take a turn to talk about Nelson at the ledge, because we did that once a year. Not just Nelson, but our work and what we were doing. And I called him Musham. I called him Grandpa. Because that man changed my life in lots of ways. Way far away on another piece of Mother Earth. Oh, and by the way, we call her Nigawe. That's Mother Earth to Crees. Nigawe. Yeah. And we put tobacco, give her tobacco and for the animals. And I used to watch something that I still today don't understand. Can't believe I did see it. But when my mom took us out berry picking, we could not touch a berry until the old lady come. It was a black bear with her 2 cubs. We went once a year, and she always took us to the same place, and that bear always brought her babies to that same place. My mom would put 2 big bowls of berries there for them. The old lady would knock that thing over, and the bear, her 2 cubs would come just eat all the berries there. And I asked her once, Ma, how come she doesn't hurt you? My girl, one day you will learn what a relative means. She's our relative, and we must fend for her. And I heard on the TV the other day they're shooting them all over the place, black ones. And there are not that many anymore. And then I heard about the moose again. So our animals are in sundry. They're in trouble. And make our words to Creator with them in it. Our people would not be alive on this country if it hadn't been for the animals. And I traveled to India once. My church sent me. United Church sent me. And Reverend, how many of you have ever met Stan McKay? Stanley? Oh man, he's a good dude. He's so good. He's my brother friend from home, from Fisher River. That's where my mom was born. And he phones me up on May, and he says, "What you doing in October?" Teaching. And he said, "Well, how'd you like to go to India?" I almost fell off my bed. I said, "India? What for?" He said, "There's a woman's journey happening." And I said, "Okay." And apparently at that time, it was in 1998, many women over there were creating cottage industries in their villages and starting to earn their own money. And get this, make bank accounts. And the sad thing that I learned when we did go there, we went all over. We landed in Delhi, Jaipur, Udaipur, Hyderabad, and Mumbai. That's the corner that we moved around in. And we went from village to village. We didn't stay in hotels. And I went all the way across to India to figure this out. Fire, smoke, incense, right? We have, and water. Everywhere you go in Canada, doesn't matter what church you're sitting in, what synagogue, doesn't matter what temple or what lodge. You'll see the same thing. And I went and stayed with this family because we were there for Diwali, the lights. And it's over there, it's like Christmas. Everybody gets dressed up in their best when they go walking to house, taking food. And Mamtar, the lady that I stayed with, she brought me to her room in the morning, and she has a little altar there to the east window, and we'd sit there, and in Hindi they call it puja when you pray. So I'd have puja with Mamtar, and water, fire, incense, it's the same. And I thought, my puppy's right. This world isn't as different as people make it. Hatred makes it that way. Not knowing makes it that way. But not this. Not our church. Not my lodges that I sit in. It's all about Nikanigana, our relations. And I'll tell you something, and this is Alcoholics Anonymous, plus Myra Laramee, plus Ernie G, my dad, because he was 41 years sober when he passed away. And he got heck from his dad. He left me in the Leland Hotel lobby. And he went in to see some of his buds, and he never came back out. He went out to that door. But the girl that was there, the clerk, knew Mom, so she called Mom and Grandpa, his dad, and Mom came and picked me up. And he told my dad, Ernie G, if you want this girl back in your house, you'll never touch another drop of alcohol. And you will have her for her life. But if I find out, she will grow up in my house. And my dad made a vow. He never touched another drop of alcohol that day, or that time in his life. And sometimes I'd sit and I'd just look at him and think, how much can a man love his daughter? This crazy one here. I was always getting him in trouble with Mom. Supper time. Supper time, he very rarely ate with us. He had this blinking signature that I didn't know it. He wouldn't teach it to me. But my sisters knew it, all of them. And he'd sit down at his meal and he'd start blinking away and talking to them with his eyes. And my mom would turn the corner and she'd say, Ernie G, living room, coffee table, dinner, now, you! And so he would go, because the girls they weren't eating their supper. And he was a character. He is a character. You're a character. And I think that, you know, when we have those people in our life like that can laugh, even though they might be hurting or sick, they can smile, they can be kind. This is where I learned that. My Sunday school teachers were all beautiful women. Yeah. They taught us what we needed to know in Sunday school. But if I sit now, I have a 3-year-old adopted granddaughter. Her name is Saul, means son. She's from, her grandparents are from Portuguese. They're Portuguese in South America. She's 3 and she speaks Portuguese. But she calls me Nukum, Grandma. And I had a conversation with her on the phone yesterday because her grandmother is my best friend. She's not my sister. And we do that kind of thing, that adoption thing. We don't need legal and paper and all of that. We just do it. And Saul said to me, Nukum? I said, what, my baby? We got to go to ceremony soon. I said, why? Because I love your fuzzy blanket. Well, we were sitting in the lodge and it was kind of chilly that day. And she was, my girlfriend was getting initiated with her son. And so they were busy. And so Saul says, you're mine today. I said, okay, well, that's cool with me. Well, I have this black, fluffy, light, fluffy, grayish-black blanket. While I was out doing my thing over there at the outhouse, she put her blanket over top her chair and climbed underneath and went to sleep. So I gotta find one of those for her. Like I said, well, do you want Auntie's? No, that's yours. Oh, okay. So I gotta find her one of those blankets because she loves it. And you know, to look after a 3-year-old. I don't know how old do you think I am. How old do you think I am? I'm 73. But I still think I'm 16. You guys? Yeah. Okay, cool. Can handle that. So she is way beyond her 3 years old. The conversations that we have, she sees things moving on the ground. What's that, Auntie? I mean, no. I think that's a chipmunk. I'm not sure. And then she had this whole group of women sitting there trying to figure out what that stupid little animal was. And everybody thought it was a squirrel, a groundhog, a gopher, blah, blah. And I don't think any of us were right. It was weird. It was different. And so she talks about heaven. Now, we don't use heaven. I say, so, you and Daddy go to church? Yeah, she says. So I guess she's getting a good one too. And 3 years old, and she talks about having babies. I think, Hel, her grandma's name is Helen. Hel, your baby's talking about having babies. Kevin! Her dad, we both call him Kevin. But today, children know things. And having been an educator at Winnipeg Schools Division for 48 years, I've seen a lot of little ones come through. They're smart. Oh, so smart. And my granny, I was having a dream and I went into the LAC room, which is a room for kids who can't sit still for very long, and other things too. But there was a whole mess of bear cubs in this room. One bear cub, a black bear, had a big jug of glue like this, watching it go down. And they had the sandbox was over, the water box was over, and oh, they were making a big sundry mess in there. And I said, Grandma, I gotta go in here and straighten out these bear cubs. She grabbed my arm, she says, you leave them alone. They're going to teach you how to be a good human being. You're going to be here for a long time. And that year I became principal of Nichimakwa for 13 years. Nichimakwa is friendly bear. And Helen's grandpa did a drawing contest with the students to name the school when it was born. Little did I know I was going to be there for, and they did show me how to be a good human being. Every morning I went into the kindergarten, the nursery room, and to see little ones taking a shell and smudging each other, that high, and never bother the matches, never bother anything that they weren't supposed to touch. Listening, watching, and doing. And I thought to myself, that's what Sunday school taught me. I didn't get that in school. The only thing I got that was favorable was our principal called Mr. Groats. He was like a papa. He was like a grandfather to all of us. Nightingale, Florence Nightingale School doesn't exist anymore. But that's where I went, to little one's school. But we didn't have that kind of things. And today we do. Today we have all diversities of schools that you could possibly think of. And then we have Minnesota. You know what I'm talking about? The 8-year-old and 12-year-old that were shot from that man that hated children and everything else on earth. And how do you reconcile that? How do we reconcile that? And it was in the church at that.